Cece, hola to you. Good evening. Hope you're not going to fall asleep on me today. How are you? Didn't get to see you today earlier. I was doing my cooking show. Exactly. Somebody was upset with me today on my cooking show because he's being a little uh he wasn't being understood. Um, he said that I wasn't talking to him, so he was upset. So you know what? What can I do? I mean, I'm looking for my crochet needle. So did I? Sorry. Here you go. I don't want to repeat what I did the other day. Yeah. How thank you. That's very kind of you to say so. I do. I pick on him here and there. Because I'm right there with him, so I hear him even I'm on the third floor. he um he had such a beautiful projecting voice. So with the music going on, so I have to take the baby upstairs so she can rest and not be so well, I don't want to say the word disturb, so that she won't be bombarding with all the noise. I still regard her hearings also, because my hearing is bad. Lately, there was thing going on with my hearing also. It started to act funny. It does that when I'm a lot of pressure, a lot of stresses. It The ringtone is louder, almost like somebody turning on the volume that make it even louder for me to even hard to hear. I have my hearing aid on. This device here, it's I probably need to clean it. I just put a new battery. It help What it does is that it does not improve the hearing on my right side, because my on the right side is gone. I already talked about that earlier, uh, last time. So this is just to help balance the volume, not the volume. It help balance the echoes, and it help minimize the ringing. Though the ringing is still there, so it's something that I have to live with it. I'm okay with just, I consider that's a blessing that I'm still alive, so I'm not going to even complain. I used to work with people with disability, with challenges, from speech impairment, hearing impairment, vision impairment. So I have partial of that. So oh, you want me to block that mean guy in my life? I will, if he come back again. I want to give him a chance to be nice, because I didn't have chance to even block him once I'm go off live. Um, YouTube does not give me the history of who's on my show, on my live streaming, because I'm not monetizing yet. So I don't know. You probably know more than I am, but in any interaction during the live streaming, it does not carry on to my history. So anything is being said and done on my live show, it will it would get disconnected when I'm done with the show. So a lot of time, Stone is my moderators, and he'll be upset with people. He was there partially. If he would keep telling me that, hey chef, some people are talking to you, and minute I started talking, focusing on conversation, and I burn my cooking. So that it's almost like I can't multitask. It's not like pre-recording. I can record a whole bunch of shows and I will knock out and edited the things um that I don't want to be on my show, right? So I minimize to like certain hours, certain minutes. When I started it, YouTube only allowed me to do like 19 minutes, or 19 minutes worth of video long, and some of the cooking take a little longer, so it really have like chop 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 chop, a very minimal, very little, and post it. Now that I know that with um with live streaming, I'm allowed to do a lot more. So what do I make mistake online, and that be it, I so it's not much I can do about that. What was dinner tonight? While I was at the other house, I make bánh cuốn, which is the steam tapioca uh, pastry, where I first have to mix uh, the flour mix, and cook it on non-stick pans and let it process, and I also made the fillings already. I mixed the pork meat and the shrimp. He didn't like the pork meat, but once in a while, I can trick him with eating pork. So I said, he's Buddhist, so he's not refrained from eating pork. A little bit of it is okay, not like we eat pork every day. Certain recipe, the the authentic recipe, you have to follow certain recipe also, but I could have gotten turkey meat or even chicken meat, or even just cook shrimp by itself. It would have been fine. But then um my thought was together, so I went ahead and did what I did. But he's okay, he loves it. He said that. So he just texted me earlier, said, well, is there more food? I cook plenty, so it's always second. So that's what I had the bánh cuốn, which is the um it's all like crepes. The It's really delicious. I will include the recipe once the video is loading up. So with the live streaming, it take 24 hours for YouTube to really release it, because it was such an it's such a big it's such a lengthy video, so it took them a little bit to release it. So once it release, I can go in and add all the recipe. And you should try this one. This one is so easy. CC, I know you like cooking, so this would be something that you should try. Or you just come over to Las Vegas, and I'll make sure that that you will get to sample a little bit of everything. It's a deal. Oh, really? Um, he can't tell between the chicken and the turkey anyway, but the turkey and chicken, they don't smell the same. And same thing for pork and beef and everything else. It does not smell the same. Okay. But s- some people can't tell, if he because if he be picky, and then I'll be cooking something, and he asks me, what is this, and I tell him, oh, this is this. And sometimes he doesn't really um get into my um checking into to it. He'll just enjoy it, because I often reminded people that if food are being prepared, spend the money on it, spend the time preparing it, serve. The least thing a person can do to someone who do that for them is enjoy the meal and say thank you. It's such a delicious meal, or just so kind of you to do that for me. I eat every bit of it. you know um Same thing for me. If I go to people's house, they offer to me, and I have to find out first whether uh, they included the food allergy for me or not, because I have such a bad allergy. Just the other day, I went over to my daughter boyfriend's family, they have a little birthday gatherings, and Vivian, she cooked really well, and she took over the whole kitchen by herself. She started making the the beef with the peanut sauce, with the peanut. Well, actually, it's supposed to be soup. Um, I forgot the name of it. See, I wish I I could remember. But anyway, I had it on my YouTube. So she started since 6 o'clock, and we didn't get to eat until like 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You know why? Because Vivian was a great cook, but then she does not trust other people to help her with. Even I told her that I cook also. I may not cook Filipino food really well, but I can help, chop the vegetables, stir the pot, whatever it is. But no, she said, no, 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 like make a track out of it. So I just watch her. While I did that, I observe her. So now I honestly can at least make two dessert. One of dessert called puto. Hey, that's what they told me. It does not mean what the Spanish mean. It mean the steamed rice cake, that little a little bun like this. Okay, she put it into a little mold or a little dish, and she steam it. It's called puto. I know, I'm not saying anything bad. Okay, I mean mean one sweet means sweet in one another language, but in other language it means something else. But don't go crazy thinking about everything. Okay, just said that we have similarity. So finally, she did the how many courses she has. Her husband came home and did the seafood boil. She did she did three desserts. She did the puto. She did the purple, the ube sweet. She did the no, I what else she has? Oh, she did the the sweet with the gelatin and young coconut mixing in in the creamer and serve on ice. It was oh, did I post that one yet? Probably not. But anyway, so she did three desserts. She has she got she called it no, she didn't call it chow mein, but she called it pancit something. I don't know. My memory is so bad. A pancit something. To me it's in Chinese language it would be stir fry chow mein, but in the Filipinos they call it a pancit some there's a word for that yellow noodles. But anyway, she did that. She did the barbecue pork on stick that I skew the meat for her. Finally, after 7 o'clock, she said, well, she's getting tired and people were getting hungry, so she let me help um with skew the meat, and her and her family help barbecue the meat. And what else she has one of the dish that she fried with vegetable with sausage and some pork meat. I don't even know what the name of that is, and that was pretty good with all the vegetable I picked. So mostly the oh yeah, the curry, 'cause she called curry, which is the curry. She didn't use the curry paste like the Cambodian do. She used some other ingredients that Filipinos people do. I didn't sample it because it was packed of peanut. It was really really the dish was really rich with peanut sauce. With she did the tribes and big chunk of meat like this. That I think that she took her the most to boil and to boil the meat down until until it was until it was tender. So she said she started at 6 o'clock. I went to her house at 2, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So she cooked that gare about 8 hours, 9 hours. And by the time I get there, it's done, and then she served it with banana sprouts and fried fried eggplants and some Chinese greens. Oh, that was pretty good. I like the greens, not the gare because it looks so good though. I mean, it was packed with peanut. And if you Filipino descent, you know what I'm talking about. Called gare gare, gare, then gare. So I learned two Tagalog, gare and puto. I don't puto. Yeah, I know. The Spanish people, Mexican people would call me out. I said, no, not that. I know what that mean in Spanish, but then, but I also know what it mean in Tagalog too. It mean steamed rice cake. Okay, and gare in my country we call gari, which is from the A sound to long E sound. Gare, same thing. I mean, we it's almost the same recipe, just different concept. you know so that was wonderful for me um to be able to have firsthand experience with the Filipino culinary cook in action. Normally I would go to the local grocery store here, which is a Filipino grocery store, and they have long list of food court. I mean, they have everything pre-made and order to go or sit in. This grocery store has this food court that are full of Filipino food, and I have tried a few times. I mean, they're pretty good with the fried noodles and fried fish. A lot of fried fish. You know. But then this weekend it was wonderful because I I watched the dessert and food made from scratch. But I already know about the pork skew barbecue because we have something similar. I don't always cook the pork meat, but beef and chicken would be like our favorite kind of meat for preference. So I got to work on it here and there. I finished one spool of yarn already. This is my second spool. So I got this big, maybe to the end of this yarn. If I use 3 spool, it'll be really, really big. Okay. So we'll see how it goes because I need to get this done quick because my daughter just FaceTime me last night. We talk all the times, and she was showing me that, Mom, there's a new trend of beanies. I said, which beanie? I he said, well, Mom, it is a flat, it's a square, it's a square beanie. It's not round beanie like a typical beanie, but this beanie here, it made out of 4 uh, granny square, and they attach together and it'll be flat. But then when you put on your head, and it had like a little uh, a little pointy, or symbolically a little ear or a little horn, something. Anyway, so she sent me a whole bunch of pictures of those things. I said, oh, those are easy to make. You put four square together and that was a beanie, I mean, and it's easy to make granny square. That's like the most easiest patterns. So she said, yeah. So once you're done with the baby blanket, can you start it, please? Because we really want to have it. It's getting cold in East Coast. I said, okay, upon demand. So everything have to be on demand now. When I was free during summer, no one demand anything. Once the winters, you see what happened now. The attitude about crocheting or even do anything with the yarn during the summer, I didn't want to do it neither. It's for some reason, I feel that there's a rush of heat while doing these in summer. I feel like it feel like an extra heat coming from the yarn itself, and looking at it, it made me feel like more heat. uh, uh, I know we do so much. Over the course of a year, I done so many crochet for the kids. Okay, there's time where I question, did they even treasure it? But then I know that the blanket that I made for them, they they enjoy. They keep that because I think they just love um the simple heart shape and stuff like that, and remind them of loves and thing like that. But a lot of beanies I made for them, a lot of headband I made for them. I don't see them anymore. I mean, people don't really appreciate it. Sometimes when I feel that people don't, I'm sorry, when I feel that people don't appreciate the hard work and time that I put into it, then I get discouraging. Um, just like, so what I did for the grandkids and the family this day, if it's their birthday, I just give them money. Here, go buy whatever you like. If I buy for you, or he or she or them, they be picky and it's not the right color, it's not the right size, it's not in trend, we all right, we just gotta keep it. That bothers me, especially if I have to spend sleepless night doing something for them, and they be telling, oh, wrong color. It's just like cook food for them. Oh, I don't know, I don't like this kind of meat. That's getting me tune off. I just like like it could bring the meanness out of me. I said, you guys don't treat me that great. I mean, once in a while you cook me my meal, and then the rest of the time I'm the one that cook yours, and perhaps I even do extra by cleaning the dish that you ate too. So where's the common sense where if I cook, you clean, go. So soon they're done with the meal, they be like take uh, their friends and show them, oh yeah, this is what we have dinner tonight. Mom makes such a great meal. Or next time you come, let us know ahead of time so she can cook for you. So there's time where their friend just flew from somewhere just to come over to have meal. Oh, sometimes they extra nice too. They even get on the plane and bring me my birthday cake. So there's time that they are extra nice and kind also. See, that's what I'm talking about, my love. You know, it get to the point where a sleepless night of doing this, it's the equality, the e- the equality of it is not the same. Okay, people just like, well, give me money so I can go do what I want to do. And for these, they didn't know that this worth more than the money that we gave them, unless you gave them too much. I mean, my grandkid, the twins. So when about 4 years ago, I think it was that, Grandma, we wanted mermaid. And okay, and this is when they became teenager. To make mermaid to fit teenager, they wanted to cover the feet all the way to the neck, and they want like a little sleeping bag I'll make out of mermaid, make into mermaid form. So yeah. Yes, you see, believe me, I've been there and done that with my kids, my grandkids, especially. Some of my kids still values something sentimental, so they have their own money, so they don't care about money, but then maybe nice meals and something sentimental. Maybe we go out to dinner, maybe we go out to the casino and spend the night where we can lose or win a little bit money, and the valuable time that we spent together, it was timeless, and it was priceless. But for grandkid, no, here, happy birthday. Here's the envelope, and that's small. I mean, yeah, like I said, I started do crochet for myself too. I started some of the beautiful, intricate pattern scarf that I kept for myself, because I realized that through the years of my crocheting habit, I never really owned anything that of my own products. So I started to collect my own. I have like 10, 15 scarf for myself. I just wear it with that complements with the outfit. I got all kind of colors, so it was neat. And yeah, so that's what I did for myself. I rewarded myself, and I begin to see um, the loving my own production, which I should be. It was beautiful. Yeah. My kids, my oldest, she's 39, and so my kid is only about 18 months apart. So we have 39, 37, 35, 28, and then no, 39, 38, 36, and then the 31, and then I have a big gap, and then I have a 27, and then a 23. Yeah, because I thought I was done. Once I got rid of one bad man, I thought that I would give myself another chance. So somebody walked into my life, was so charming, was good looking, and he was as sweet as apple pie. The place is everything's. Once he got that piece of paper, say that I do, and then he changed. But I give him chances. I produced two more kids and give him 13 years of his rotten life, and give nothing but love, but then he cannot reciprocate it. So he was in such a nasty affair with this young lady, and it went bad, so badly. I was still married to him. So he got in trouble with her and was arrested and lost his job and the whole bit. And yeah, I end up helping both of them. I think I told a story before. My family think that I'm stupid and I'm crazy. Even church people thinks that I did something crazy. They ask me, why did you even help your husband girlfriend? I thought you church people. So don't preach me your principle if you don't believe in love your enemy. So I did. While he was locked up, he called me and said, can you please help me? At this time I still married to him. I think I told the story before. I don't want to tell again. So sad. But anyway, let's say that I um because he didn't want to go to jail, and he didn't want to get indicted and go to jail, because he had like 6, 7 counts of felonies. So he was out on bail. So they could indict him. Even the time that he had battered me, I called police on him, and I always dropped charge against him. I think 3 or 4 times. But then when he got the last time with his girlfriends, the state of California said, nope, we are not gonna drop the charges. We're gonna bring up all the charges against this young lady, against your wife. I was his wife at the time. I had gotten divorced yet. So he know that he gonna do at least 15 to 20 years. So he started crying. I was like, I don't want to go to jail. I was like, I don't know if it'll do for you. He'd be crying on the ground, on the floor, down to my feet, and begging me to help him. I was like, I can't do nothing to you, but this is, I suggest you can just deport yourself. You could just exile, just hop on the plane and go to Cambodia and never come back. That's what he did. So when I went to Cambodia, I supposed to go see his parent, but I didn't. I didn't want to see him neither. He's already with somebody else with a few kids, so I didn't want to get involved. So yeah. So with that, the 2 children coming up from that marriage, and they are my 2 youngest. So I have 7 grandchildren. Also, I have a set of twin who will be 18. So the set of twin, the other one that said, Grandma, we would like to have you make us mermaids. So at the time they were about 4, 5, 4.5 feet tall. So imagine that I have to create mermaid that long, with the tails, with the details and all that. So I have to make 2 of them. So it took me a little bit of time to do that. So I think they still have it. I saw them. In them when, well, they got older now. So they got taller too. So they may not even fit. But I saw that they put it up on in the closet. So yeah, so it's nice as making um a little camping bag for the kids. I mean, the winter comes, and when making blanket, it's it's beautiful. But then making mermaids and stuff with animal character that they love, they like going to bed with it. But then those things, just like making blanket, it take a while, especially some of the patterns that I have to figure out. It's just like mermaid patterns. I make my grandbaby mermaid also. She's so cute. Um, I think her mom framed framed the little mermaid that I made for her daughter. Include the little beanies and a little toe cover and a little head cover, and she really she really keeps taking them. That make me feel good, that she wanted to pass it down to her grandkids. By the time her grandkid is born, that thing would be at least what, 20 years old, 25 years old plus. It depends when the grandkid gonna be old enough to have grandchildren. I pray that I'll be living that long to see the great grandkids, because my mom, she's 84 now. She lived to see great grandkids, the children of my children. So she get to see. I have 7, and then my sisters, my second sister, she has 2, and then my brother who just passed away, he has 2 also, and then my other brother who live in New Hampshire, just 1. So if I can live as long as my mother, I think I will get chance to meet my great grandkids. And I do not encourage anybody to go out there and have children because I want to create the generation, uh, keep up with the generation living. No, don't need to do that. But um, yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, you have to make room. I mean, for the mermaid would be like the slim tails and the big body. It's like yeah, it's the shape of mermaid, and nice tails and nice fins and all that. And yeah, it rests up here. And I did a few of the body warmer for the grandchildren. It started with uh, one one grandkids, and then the rest of grandkids said, "Grandma, I want one too." So if I make something for one grandchild, then the rest will have to have one. Otherwise, they said that we we treat them unequally. I said, well, let's get something that's easy to make, something that I can make in like 5 minutes, not 5 days or 5 weeks. um, yeah, TikTok people come in and out. Say hello to all of you too. TikTok people, they I learned about TikTok is that they just scrolling. They don't stay to have conversation. They just scrolling. I don't know what they're scrolling for. Maybe looking for some good looking kid or something. You know what I mean? If you're looking for romance, you gotta move on. I suggest that, so people get offended by that. I mean, Chef Anna is not a love connection channel. It's not a romance. It's not a romance channel. So don't try to romance me. Don't try to court me. Don't trying to do nothing but watch the cooking demonstration. That's all you'll be getting. You don't get to romance me. I've been there and done that, and I have a man already, and so when I tell people, is that, well, it's okay, you still can talk. Yes, I can talk, but what are you going to talk about? You know, I'm not your neighbor. I'm not your friend. This is social media. I mean, so I said, if you're looking for a love of your life, then you gotta move on. Yeah, and it won't hurt me if you don't come back. But if you do come back, I always welcome. And that the kind of attitude is not the first time, especially people on TikTok. There's a few that was a little demanding for to have that like conversation, and want to know my business or your business. You know what I mean? Something that for me, I don't like to share anything about my business. My business is my business. If I want to share with you about my experience, certain thing, I would, come to relationship, thing like that. I don't like to put it out there because not everybody is at my best interest. I mean, um, so sometimes I do share. Sometimes I don't feel like I be sharing. I have limit to as far as my my personal relationships, but I talk about my experience, about my life, and about I um I talk about my kids. I talking about the thing that had happened to me, the things that I experienced, the abusive relationship, abusive marriages, and stuff like that. I talk openly about it, because it affects us, and it affects a whole lot of other women also. Sometimes women who trap in that relationship, they feel helpless. They don't know how to get out. I got out. Shoot, I packed my kids and I'm gone. I went to court. I said, judge, I have done my best to keep this marriage, but it's not going anywhere. He's still not treating me like um fair, that I deserve to be treated with loving and kindness. So I endure the abuse. I give these people so many years of my life, and I'm leaving them. So give me my your best judgment is the good. Boom, here your kid, take your kid, move away. Or if you want to stay around, here is the protective order. I think I got out. So I mean, before I got out, I give those people plenty of opportunity to make it right. When they fail to make it right, then I recognize that it's not changing. So they say that if you cannot change the man, then change the man, meaning that left him and goes to find another man. No, it's not like that, you know. I mean, um, I have an in-law like that. I'm not gonna mention name, but so she's a widow of our family members who was killed, and I'm not condemning her. You know, some people told me that people grieve differently. Sometimes people grieve by being single for a long time. Sometimes people grieve by get into another relationship shortly after the funeral is over, you know. So to me, okay, so yeah, no time to mourn. So how do you mourn and get into another relationship so soon? So some people tell me that, you know, people mourn differently. Okay, I got it. You mourn differently. For my mourning, I will take like a good year, 2 year, 3 years of me giving proper respect. You know, if a person die uh, on a duty or die for serving the country, serving the community, I would give him that space of respect. You know, I because again, you know, people operate differently. So if I offend anybody, I'm sorry, but it just my personal feeling, my personal emotion is that I feel okay being alone after the divorce. I feel so good. I feel like so much better. It's so much healthier. You don't have to deal with the stress, the abuse, the verbal, the negligent, the financial deprivation, you know, and sexual abuse, and verbally and mentally, physically, financially. Is that all the elements of abuse is there? You know, people can live through it so many years, but then it becomes dangerous to the point where the abuser does not stop. The abuser become more aggressive, the abuser become more sadistic, so become more violent, become more control. They once they control you at one element, they want the complete elements. Pretty soon gonna cut you off from your connection with the family, with the church, with the family, with the friends, and all he wants you to stay home barefoot and no job, no money, and promise of in providing, but then the money never come, and then you end up living so poor. You know, that's what happened to me. So finally, when I got out to be on my own, it was struggle because at this point I have 6 children. Okay, so with 6 children and ranging from teenager to the baby newborn. So with 6 children, I have to have 2 jobs, and to have the kids and 2 jobs was like, oh goodness, it was just like hell on earth that I experienced. You know, I could have took the 6 children, marched down to welfare department, and had those men pay for the child support, pay for the responsibility, the obligation that I don't even have to go to work for a single day. But then I was being stupid, you know, by not taking the opportunity of just taking advantages of the systems. You know, I feel that I'm not helpless, I'm not disabled, I'm not decapitated, I'm not blind, I'm not any of that disability impediments. So I went to work, I managed. It was difficult years, many of difficult years. So this day I can say nothing but proud of myself and proud of the kids. They never make me worried about them messing up. They always being good kids and allow me to work, and they help with the children, little one when they're home. So we have that that bond, that family mechanism uh, build up where I, I, I get relief of childcare to help while they're in school and while they out of school. So that system have to be in place for me to work. But then there's time where I have to take the nanny job like I do here, so allow me to stay home, take care of my own kid, and take care of other people's kids. So it worked well, you know. I mean, once you're determined to do something, it's always a way. It's just like the OA said, the OA said that if there's a will, there is a way, you know, and I believe that, man. Those years was terrible years, but I take it back. It was difficult years, but I have all my kid with me. I rather have all those my kid with me and eating crumbs and have my kid being some irresponsible father. You know, I don't know if what he would do with my kids because they're constantly in new relationships, so bouncing from one woman to the next woman. Oh no, I'm not putting my kid through that. Get out, get the hell out, and let me take care of the children. Don't worry about your pity, your penny pittiness. You know, I don't need it. Let me find my own pennies. That's what my attitude was. Yeah, we change. We have to change. Once you recognize that cycle of abuse, okay, remember that the abuser does not stop. Even they search, seek counseling, therapy. It might be good for a little bit, just like go through that honeymoon praises, and then it was like the abuse cycle. You know, it go in in the circle. It does not quit unless you break it and get out. Be lucky if you get out safely. You know, I planned my safely. I got help. You know, I mean, I work with a whole bunch of law enforcement. Minute I make that phone call, the police circle the house and escort me out safely, you know, and put me where it's safe. And yeah, so oh, so there's still 4%, huh? I wish that the people the men that I married to was part of that statistic, the 4%, you know, because they didn't change at all. They went on and abused the woman that they are with now, you know. I mean, I know that there's some good men that some of them end up in jail and do time, and when they got released, they change. Sometimes they change through therapy, counseling, from conscience, or they attend church and they started to believe in Christ, follow Christ, or follow Buddha, or whatever type of belief that help them change. They do, you know. But then I'm just not fortunate to have those two men that I was married to change. So I end up moving out, went into isolation. No, isolation because I didn't have any contact. The court sealed my record because due to the alleged abuse. No, due to the severe abuse relationship. So the court found me in favor and that need to be protected. So I moved away from the city. Um, and my record is sealed unless I'm requested to be open. So then I found peace in working and take care of my kids and feed my kids and until all of them graduated from high school and exceeded from me one by one down until the baby girls. And so it's been a tremendous experience by just being a mother and have to live through such traumatic experience. But for those who has loving spouse, you know, that they support you and you consider blessed and fortunate because I don't know what the statistic of women's are or men are. You know, men get abused also, not just women now. Okay, I mean, I had a friend who's a male, and you know he got abused too, you know, where a woman take all his money and come home with empty pot, coal house and empty pot, you know what I mean. And then and he has a disabled child, and she get paid to take care of him, but she never there to take care of him. And the child that they have, because he had this child who is a lot older, and he was born with severe um, Down syndrome. So he need help in every aspect in his life, and not only that, he had some chronic illnesses and make very difficult for the father to take care of him. And the father is in his 80, and the mother is in her 50s. So there's a big age change, big age gap, because what happened was that he went back home. He went back to the country of Laos to marry his bride. He was what's called mail order bride. So he got her and brought her to America, and she was lovey dovey and all that until she got everything else she need. And then she switched up. Um, she gave him a child too. One of the child is an adult, but then um, the younger child, I think he's in high school now too, but he had a very severe developmental issues, so he needs so much help. You are too, Cece. Congratulations, love. Yes, by grace of God, you know that you know, I believe in Christ, and I do attend church also. So and that's what make me help me get through the hardship in my life, because because as Christ said that, that he does not give us or challenge us knowing that we cannot handle. Okay, he knows that every challenge that we face, and that we'll be able to face it. And and just like anything else in this life, it's no it's not permanent. Not even a problem in your life, it's not permanent, it's just come and go. Some seem to stay a little longer because we allow it. um, some will exit quickly because it's a short-term problem. Some problem is just like chronic illnesses. It does not go away until you like until you have that surgery and remove it. Just like just like the unfit people. I'm not gonna say bad people. I would say unfit people in your life. If you feel that they're unfit at the point where it's unfit, is no longer suitable, is no longer safe for you to habitant with, to live with, to share your life with, then exit. If it's so control, you cannot leave the house, then find a moment. And now you can call 911, you can call zero, and leave the phone off, phone on, and they will find you. The help will come. So a few years ago, I was in Stockton and ran into a young lady that I used to attend high school with, and I didn't recognize her, but she recognizes me. So we started talking. So I remember her, and she was telling me that she was in such a controlled relationship, and he's retired. And he won't allow her to work. He won't allow her to drive. He would take her, drive her everywhere she need to be. Sometimes he just stay in the car, and if she need to do the groceries. So he's very controlled. He doesn't let her out of his sight. So at that one particular month, she came over to do her citizenship. So he didn't come in because he didn't want to sit and wait too long. So he volunteered to wait in the car. So this young lady, who was my high school acquaintance, told me that Avana, I need help. So she told me about her situation. So I said, well, he's not here right now. You want me to call the police? So he said, no, 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 not yet. I don't want him to get arrested yet. So you said you need help. I am a mandated reporter. So if I don't do it, then not I'm breaking the law. I said, no, please let me when I'm ready. I said, when you told me that you want out, Mina, you are ready, so you have your second thought. I said, no, because if I do it now, if he get arrested, when he get out of jail, he gonna kill me. So then it's always like a worst fear for the victims, because they've been trapped in the beliefs that once they release, the vigilant gonna come and kill him. I have been held at gunpoint. I have been held at knife to my back. Said if I ever leave, and that's what he gonna do to me. So you know what? When he got involved with the young lady, he forgotten about me. So I left him. He he didn't bother to come after me because he found his new lover. So and that's why I helped that young lady, because I feel that she had saved me from that ugly relationship. I told her that you can have him. Go ahead, girl. You can take every bit of him, take all of it. Do not leave anything for me, because I don't want anything to do with him. When I left him, he didn't even help me move, because he's already had his agenda. He already like involved with this girl that I didn't know about, but he's already involved. So I thought, that's kind of strange, because normally he said, if you leave me, I'll kill you. He has a gun. So it was the gun that I gave him the money to buy during the Y2K shitty thing, where we need to buy all kind of supplies and gun to protect the house. It's all like propaganda, it's all about uh, I don't know. I thought it was propaganda. It was a bad narrative, they said that well the millennium is gonna be here, and uh, what else gonna happen, that the world gonna turn evil, and people gonna start, thing gonna change, and that what else, I mean, it's a lot, about Y2K, right? Um where people will panic about the year 2000, so mm, you know the addictions, there's a few addictions, okay? So my ex was addicted to woman, gambling. It's not unto drug, not alcohol. It was like gamblings and womanizing. Those like there's always it's always a few of those elements where turn a person astray. So it can be drug, alcohol, uh, chemical with the drug, and then the womanize, and then those gamblings. So at least five of the bad habit, five of the elements or factors that cause people to become I don't want to say bad, okay? Let's say become uh what's the word? What's the term? Become irresponsible and be mean, you know. And if they're on drugs and that's it, they steal, they the same thing for gambling habit. I noticed when he started his gambling habit, he started stealing from me, even the wedding band, the wedding rings is missing. He even steal the money from the kids saving piggy bank. It's pretty bad. It's sound almost like someone is on drug, where they steal everything, TV, uh, from the living room, toaster from the kitchen. I mean, they just take whatever they can to make a few dollars. It's not bad. And um, I I've been through a lot, and that's why um, um the issue with my hearing, it's coming from the blow on the head also, when the constant slapping and constant pressure and slap into the ears and banging the head onto the wall, over time, I mean, I don't know why they're so mean. If I were to be a bad woman, CC, if I don't even drink, I don't even smoke, you know I don't even party. What kind of woman are they look seeking for? I thought that being all those uh, factors that men would love to care for, because being benevolent, being loving, being care nurtures, and all I do was taking care of the kids and go to work and take care of the family, take care of the household. So what's the problem with him? I don't understand. That's why when I leave these bad people in my life, there is no tears shed at all. And people ask me, what is your memory of your ex? That memory. I have memory of him slapping me, beating me, calling me names, even the things that I didn't do anything. I'm not the one to go out there and chase after women, or men. I'm not out there, doing all that crazy thing. So that's why they said that, well, maybe you're too nice. It's like, shut up. How do you be too nice? How do you classify being nice, being too nice, and you get beat up? I don't understand. All I do was the human common sense or human decency, which is been taught through church, through Christ, through family, through life experience. And we don't just bully. We don't just beat on people. We don't just call people name. We don't just um, you know that's what I thought too. When I look at it, you know I'm I'm not a bad looking woman consider, and I'm pretty decent person. I'm loved by many community members. I work in the community for many years, and I have so much love and so much respect from my communities. I moved to Las Vegas a lot, crying. Well, you move, no one here to help us. Even some of the clients that I work with, even after the case is closed, I still remain friendship with them. They still calling me up and say, "Hey, we cook for you today. Oh, we drop off food for you. Hey, we have extra fruit, vegetable, fish." It's almost like my house is my fridge. My fridge is always filled. My mom used to say, "Oh, Ivana, you need to tell people stop giving us food." I said, "No, mom. You know, why would you do that? Because people giving thank when I help people, it's free to them. So sometimes people don't like when you do something free for them. They want to. It's free because I'm salaried, so I can't even accept monetary value. But after many years of serving, they become like family. They they give in food. Sometimes I get puppies too. I have a few puppies that I adopt and and um and get treated and found a loving home for it. Not just rescue soul of human. I rescue animals that belong to abusive home too. So then I work in the community, help people with their issue. Yet in my own home, I have issue also. That's why I said I have to get out. I have to live by example. I'm not gonna let all these take away my life, my livelihood, my children, my safety, my happiness. So I walk away. I walk away with both men. I had just my kids and the knowledge I learned, and with that knowledge, I was able to exchange it for money to take care of my kids. Up until this day, they're all grown now. I'm good. I I patted myself, though all the success that my kid have, it's from their own motivation. Well, I'm part of their motivation also, because the love that they radiated, and the caring side, and it helped them to boost their innovation, or they desire to be better than what I can offer them when we were so poor. Just them, and yeah, abuse are looking for good women, but they want to keep them at home control, so that they can go out and find more good women to continue his cycle, you know and yeah, I mean, this is something I talk about. I'm not ashamed, Cece, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that, oh yeah, everything is perfect about my life. That's my past. I can look at it, and to help me appreciate the freedom that I have now. That I'm no longer in that predicament. I'm no longer allow anybody to violate it, my happiness, and take away my happiness. So I'm doing good now. I get older, I get wiser, I think twice, maybe I think 100 times before I say thing to, if it offend me so badly. I'm just like, now when people online, it's easy to bye, just block them. I have people on Facebook. Um, I have about 6,000 followers on Facebook. I started there first before I started YouTube. But I'm not monetized neither. I monetize through TikTok now, with a few cent here, a few penny here and there in combines. I don't even know. Last time I checked was 40 cents. I'm like, wow, 40 cents, and all that work in the kitchen, sweat like crazy. Give me 40 cents. I'm like, okay, leave it there until it turns 40, 100,000. I'll collect it when I'm a millionaire. So, but it's just fun fact, that with YouTube, I'm away from being monetizing. I'm just working toward the fun stuff, not thinking about when I'm gonna get monetizing, when I'm gonna get rewarded. Just I'm just doing the fun factor. I'm just keep releasing my video, keep doing the things that I love doing, because that's part of our progress, part of our growth. It's part of me that I'm allow myself to reach certain aspect in life. Because when I met my sweetheart Stone, he asked me, what would you like to do? Because he heard so many things about my story. And I mean, I didn't mean to like put him in like a emotional coaster with my past, but to understand each other, we do talk about our past. And I listen to his, he listened to mine, and he said, you know what, if you want to have your cooking channel, you shall have. If you want your book wrote, you shall have. So that's other two elements that he's helping me with. So I have my YouTube channel started, and he gave me the tool to go about and do it, and then he taught me the proper tool to do it. So now I can I can record. I can He taught me how to do editing programs. So he had a lot of patience for me. Eh, if any of you know anything about the editing program, I'm not talking about the iTunes movies like that. No, it was more sophisticated editing program where they use for movie and stuff like that. And so it was like very complicated, sophisticated editing program. That's what I use in my cooking show, right? So he gave me the app, and he taught me, here, click this, do this, do this, do this. And then I click so many times where, oh, good for you. Hug. You did good. I'm proud of you, Cece. You became such a strong woman. Huh? I feel connected to you for some reason. I'm not sure, because not just that you on here. For some reason, there's certain element in you that I feel connected. I think when I share story, you be right there, showing the support and understanding. You don't like, oh well, you should get out earlier. No, you didn't criticize me. Um, you didn't put me down. You just said, so you what you call it? You show love. That's a great humanity out of you, and I appreciate that. I know that I don't get to say hi to you too, Bradley and Tania. Tania, say hi to you also. I have that I have today when I went on cooking. So let me finish saying what I say about Cece is that thank you. You are such an amazing woman. Also, I'm so glad that you have overcome all those nasty uh, um, relationship. We I consider lucky that I'm able to get out and stay alive and have my kid with me. Because a lot of time when abuser becomes so bad is that if you plan on leaving, there's a serious consequences. About 3 years ago, 3 years ago, might be four. This a girlfriend of mine who's so close because we came from the same camp. We went to the same high school. We live in the same town, so we pretty close. And she had a younger sister who was in relationship with another um, same nationality, Cambodian, and so they produced a child together. So and then thing went bad, so they separated, and they've been separated for many 10, 15 years. And then so this young friend of mine, she started new relationship a few times, went through over and over again. And then one last time when she was in a relationship with this new guy, her ex husband, who she had the kid with that left her, he one day he came back and to the house and entered into the house, and he came with the guns and he shot her boyfriend and killed her also. I mean, that's a they've been broke up so long already. Why came back 10, 15 years later to kill your ex? You know, so we lost her, and the new boyfriend that she with. It was so sad and how that happened. So that's why um the 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 professional will tell you that the abuser have tendency to go beyond the scope of his ability to cope with his own anger. Okay. um People who abuse usually people that suffering from some sort of traumatic experience, or maybe suffering from post-traumatic experience from war, from child abuse relationship, or whatever it is they say that or sadistic behaviors, or even just mental illness can lead to a person to be so out of control to the point where life is taking. So because I work in the community, I or in the name of love, and yeah, it was sad. She was only in her 40s when in her mid 40s when that happened. Um I don't know why he came back after that many years. Maybe he trying to get back with her and she didn't want to get back with her. So then he He was arrested, but then he shot and killed two people, his ex-wife and her new boyfriend, which it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think he might have wanted to get back with her and she didn't want him back, and she just start more new relationship with a new person. um, and and he just killed her in cold blood. Yeah. So this is some of the example. I mean, not all men, not all women are that bad, but do not allow your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your sweetheart to get to the point where he can be out of control. Okay, once he's out of control, your life is in great danger. You don't even have chance to get out. So go back to that one young lady that that's a acquaintance of mine from high school. She she begged me not to um for her to go home first, and she need her belonging. I said that I think she's just too fearful to leave him, even she had chance to leave. And sometimes when the abuser really controlling them in physical element, where the beating, the assault, the insult, verbally, physically, and mentally, when he wrap her in the thinking that if she ever leave him, he gonna find her, he gonna kill her. So it's safer to stay with the abuser. Plus, she doesn't have a job, she doesn't have a place to stay, she doesn't have money. If she leave him, then she won't have any support. There's so many elements that woman decided to stay with the abuser because she felt helpless, because she felt that she had nowhere to go, no help. Okay, but it's not true though. They always help. Okay, in California they call it Woman Center, where it's a state funding program um, that provides shelter, provide counseling, provide short term and long term support to women who willing to get out of her abusive relationship. Okay, so I'm a part of that. I did a lot of involving with the women center in Stockton, California. I do a lot interpreting for them. We did a lot of work with the family. So with through transitions into leaving the abuser, into the shelter, into getting childcare, for her to get counseling, for her to get a job, for her to enter into her own place and get protective custody of the kid, get protective custody of the whole family, protective custody, meaning that get the um, court order to for the abuser to stay away for so many yards, and if he come around, call the cop, and the cop will come and arrest. And sometimes even with protective order, men violate all the time. In that 5 minute, 5 second, he can come in and did the most atrocity crime committed to men, women, and elderly. Okay, even with protective order, the protective order only work when a person obey the law. If the person is so crazy, they will not obey any law. They will come in because they have that craziness going ahead, and so that if he cannot control her, then he will not alive. So yeah, knife, kick, kill, mean it. I mean, like I said, it's not just women now victims of domestic abuse. Okay, there are men also. I mean, I I know men who abuse, probably not physically. Probably financially negligent abuse. If a person, just like the older client of mine who married his wife from Laos and brought her over, and 10, 15 years later, after she had her green card, her citizenship, and then she switched out and started to deprive him of his money, took the money, took control of the financial portions, and don't give him the money for medication. Um, doesn't she? His money would take care of the rent, but her money she kept and do whatever she wanted. So that also an abuse abusive element of that also. Okay, not just be calling name when one of the spouse deprive another spouse from having freedom, um, to always be trapped at home, to always being shameful, or being what do you call it, when they're out in a community where they bluntly control over the narrative, where she cannot look around, to check who's around her, or if she stare blank and another person sit on an opposite table, he would say, "Oh, you're flirting, huh?" So he's always be putting down and shame her in public. These are some of the sign. Okay, some warning sign. And if that does happen, control how you dress, how you walk, how you talk, how you put your makeup, how you wear your hair, and that can lead to even more damage and even more serious. I'll let you know that because it happened to me with my ex. He was so controlled is that if anybody knocked on the door, he said, "Oh yeah, there's some solicitor who come to the door." I said, "Oh honey, last night about such and such time, this person come and knock on the door and ask for some change." He said, "Huh? How do you know to find you? You must have called him to come over to your door. That's why he know where to find you." It's just like an accusation, something stupid like that. I said, "How does this solicitor find your door?" Because he came in the community, he knocked everybody's door asking for penny because they know that you come to the community, Cambodian or Asian community, knock on the door, you tell them your pity story, and you get change, you get food, because something like that happened. So, right away he started attacking me. He's like, "Yeah, you must have calling this guy. That's why he know where to come and ask for penny. If you don't make appointment with him, how do you know to find your door?" Went on and on and on. I mean, the abuser would come with all kind of accusations. If he accuse you, why do you? When he's driving, I'm supposed to be looking straight on the narrow street. Yeah, I cannot look over who is driving in the other car. So, why are you looking on the other guy driver or the other car? Why? Stupid stuff like that you need to recognize that the control, the abuser will find wrong in every aspect and will humiliate you everywhere he go, was at home, in public, in restaurant, and wherever he will humiliate, find thing to humiliate. But no, he sometimes he acts so kind, so loving, like, oh, we're so romantic, so protective. But then that was just the icing on the cake. Okay, some abuser, they're so manipulated, they can act so nice, so sweet in public, but some cannot control their own anger and humiliate him in public, name calling, yelling, screaming, or even curse at her, calling her bitchy name and stuff like that. So these are the sign. If you have all those warning sign, oh yeah, thank you. I experienced that too. Mine was like it was the bell, it was the slapping, it was the pulling, the hair pulling, the slapping, the boxing, um, the the punching, the kicking, and when I'm down, he kick. When I'm up, he grabbed the hair. I got so many black eye going to work, and I mean, it was so embarrassing. It was humiliating, when you get blood on your eyes and it takes forever to like the bruises from the purple to blue to from black to blue to purple to green to yellow, um uh, phrases of of, of, of bruises. I mean, I got that. I mean, there's no cover. It doesn't matter what kind of makeup you got on. You see through it. You cannot hide it. People be saying, "Oh, what happened to you, Anna?" So, well, I fail. I mean, it's embarrassing to admit it. I mean, yeah, I got black eye a few times. There's time where, like I describe it, first it was black, was blue, was purple, it was red, it was kind of toward the end of healing, like yellow, little by little. Oh my goodness. Um, Choking, punching, hitting. So I fight back one time. Okay, so I fought back, and yeah, I inflict some injuries, and he went to work, and he told his worker that he got beaten by a black man. I could have done that years when he first laid his hand on me, that I could have, I could have fight back. But then I thought, if I do, I can escalate the situation, and that he might pull the gun on me. So that's why I never fight back. I remember when something like that happened, my neighbor would always be watching. They never called the police for me. By the time I called the police, for some reason, this ex right here, every time I called the police, he got arrested, but then he'd be out so soon. Somebody bailed him out. Even like 2 hours later, he'd be out here with the gun. He said, "Oh, you want to do that again?" I was at the school meeting, and right away, I felt something poking my back. I turned over. He had his trench coat on, and he pointed the gun in my back at the school rally at my kids' school. I was attend kids rallies, and he said that, "You do that again, you and the kids and your family will be the most unfortunate people." So I have to call the sheriff and drop the case against him. So I think I dropped the case against him 3 times. So when he got arrested for beating his girlfriend, all the 3 charges brought up against him, plus the charges he had on his girlfriend. So that's why he was gonna go to jail for a long time. So I ended up sending him to Cambodia. So he's in Cambodia now. He trying to be on here on Facebook asking for help. I said, the FBI still looking for y'all, so you better not show your face on Facebook. So I think he go under other name now. I said that don't even try. I'm done with you. Be a tough man, because you were tough living with me. So be a tough man. Survive on your own. I survive on my own, raising your kids. So survive on your own. Don't be ashamed. Don't don't you be ashamed to call me for help. So you know, it's not a joy watching somebody getting the karma. But I just want to tell you that whatever, whoever did those crazy things to you, eventually it'll come back to them. They will get it manyfold. So I witnesses that too. My former exes, they are not doing too well. They got old and ugly. I'm sorry. So now I'm looking at them like, oh, I'm glad that I didn't stay with this person, because look at him, look, oh. So I don't look like that. So I take care of myself. I look good. I feel good now. When I look at him, like, ooh, how did I ever in love or love this person? I mean, ew. So, so I hope he's not watching this. I don't care. I'm just telling you the truth. But it is true. I'm looking at them like, so with the one um that I sent to Cambodia. um I haven't seen him for what, 21 year. But my first ex that I have 4 kids with, he live in the East Coast, so I got to see him once in a while. I'm okay with it. I mean, he still owe me a lot of child support that he never paid me. Um, but there's time that he get fresh with me, so I said, "Oh, you want me to pull child support on you?" So he said, "I don't owe you no child support." So yes, you do. You had court order. You you left the country for a while to avoid child support pending because I didn't collect welfare, so you didn't owe the state, but you owe me. But it's okay now. The kids are grown. Just enjoy your life. Just enjoy your life. Just don't die too soon. Just live your life. Okay? Don't worry about the child support. I got it. I don't need it. Just take care of yourself. Save the money for your health. So once in a while, I run into my ex. He's fine. I'm okay with now. I'm over it long time ago, you know. And so I encourage my kid to love their dad because I got nothing to do with their father. It doesn't mean that they can't have relationship with their father. I encourage them to have relationship with their father. It's rightful to do because God said that to love and respect your parents. So that's what I encourage them to do. To love and respect for their father. Cece, thank you, Cece. I appreciate that. I can't take all the credits. The credit going toward the hardships and all the time they have to go through the hardship with the kids and keep them in school, keep them in the right path. And after they grow up, they went out and searching for their success. They went and chase their dreams and become successful people. I mean, they four of them are business owner, and I can be more than proud of them. I mean, something that they didn't have while living with me. Now they can afford whatever they want. They can get it. So it's nice to see that. So they yeah I'm not gonna take all the credit on CC. I give the love that they need, the nurture that they need, and after they exit my household, they went and build their success and their educations and their business on their own, and I'm proud of them. I never have enough money to even support my kids, and some of them I help pay for the college fund. I help pay for a little bit here and there, but very small fractions. The rest they just on them. They work hard to get the educations and to start the business, and it's something that I'm proud of them of. I mean that I did a great job to keep them. It would have been different if they were not with me, but when they're with me, I think raising kid in a righteous way allow them to make the right kind of decisions, allow them to also know good and bad, because there was rules that I imposed on my kid. I said there are one phone call that I will not accept from any of you, is that if I ever get a phone call from the police, from jail, from law enforcement of any kind, I will not go get you. So mark that up here. So I know we have issue. I saw my kid fight each other at home. They beat each other. They over something. But I don't get involved. I told you guys that. Once you get involved with children fight, you own the problem. I refuse to do that. So they work out their differences. So when they're young now, they don't fight like that anymore. Sometimes when now they can have word back and forth, and and sometimes one person has a better suggestion how to talk to the kids. And sometimes they ask me, Mom, how do you do that? How do you take care of all of us? I just have two, I just have one, and I can't deal with my kids. Mom, how do you deal with all of us? I don't know. I don't have to deal with you guys like I have to deal with you. I don't have to deal with you guys like you deal with your kids. And your generation and your kid generation are different number. It's a lot different. I don't have to do anything but love and hot meal on the table. And I go to work every day. Make sure that you go to school, and you know well that you don't cut school because I work with the system. I'm not one of those poor Cambodian mom who can't speak the language. Okay, I speak five, so which language do you think that you can speak like I do so you can go ahead and cut school? Because I check with the school every week, and to the point where I can trust them now. I mean, it show on the report cards until they graduate one by one. And I say, hey, Vana, you did a good job. I mean, I love that because to take care of six children, it was a lot of work, Cece. I don't know how many kids you have. I have six, but now I'm proud of my kid than ever. Before I was, it was so much work, especially when they were young, and sometimes I was, oh, it would have been nicer if my kids all grown. And now they're all grown and then they all left you. And now you feel that hollows, that emptiness, but then, and that's why my kids say, Mom, you have moved living with us. I want to catch up with time that I left you. I didn't have time to have that time with you because you always be busy working and make sure that we have place to live, food to eat, and school to attend. We really have time. We have money to go to the movie, go to do whatever. We used to go to the park and fish, and that's the only thing you can afford. But it was the best experience ever. But then we don't have time to go to the movie or shop at the mall. So um, so all that stuff the kid shared with me. He said, how do you handle six kids, Mom? I'm going crazy right now. I don't know how to deal with my kid. So I said, oh, it was difficult, but I don't remember how I deal with all of you. I just know that I go to work, I came home, I cook, I clean, you guys helping me the laundry on weekend, and then we want to attend church at the time. But then you guys do your homework, you help with the chores, you help with the responsibility, you go to school, I pick you up, I drop you off. Sometimes you have to walk home, and on and on and on, year after years. And it took 34 years from the first to the last. That's a lot of time. That's like almost half of my life. So I said, oh, what's your worst memory? I said, I don't know. I don't remember anything. Probably the worst memory is when somebody trying to blame me for being a bad mom, when I done my best, or I was inadequate mom, or I didn't provide enough because that's all I can afford, because that's all I have. So I did my best. If my best is not is not good enough, and that gonna cost you a traumatic experience, traumatic life, or even tormenting life, and I'm sorry. I mean, I was in an abusive relationship myself, and I got out, and I'm still stuck in a without help. So I did my best. If my best was not good enough, then I'm sorry. All I can do is I'm sorry. If I can go back over again, I will still keep all you guys. If I could have go on welfare systems and I'll be home and pick you guys up every day, that would have been an option too. But I don't know why I didn't do that. Though, CC, I have six children. Why in the world I just stop worrying and just take the kid down to the welfare department, get the food voucher, get the rent paid for, and then I still have time with my kids. But when I look back, I'm like, I could have done a lot of things, but I didn't. And not because I didn't have education for it, or I wasn't educated, I was informed. I am informed. I work for the community. I work in the community. I know the system in and out. And that's why I didn't want to be on the system, because I want my kid to grow up knowing that they didn't grow up on the subsidiary, they didn't grow up on public charge, they didn't grow up on public welfare, they didn't grow up on any kind of hand me down. The only time that they get hand me down is when the cousin hand down the clothing, or I have to shop at the secondhand store for clothing. Other than that, there was no public handout for me. I gotta be proud of that. You know, it is easy. We can rise and about in even the worst situation in our life. If we allow the um, if we allow all that turmoil, all that adversary to control the scenario, just control your life, it will consume. Yeah, it take a lot of determination. It take a lot of will to overcome certain capacity and difficulty in our life. Because just remember that, okay, everything that come through our life, it will pass. If it take 10 years to pass, let it take 10 years. If it take 20 years, then do 20 years. Okay, it take a lot. It takes a lot to where I can sit in front of you now, talk about it without shame, without fear, without any kind of suppressions. Okay, it's freely because I experienced it. I lived through it. It's my story. I'm sharing with you. Okay, it may not be pertaining to you, but it pertains to some person. Just like this beautiful person here, Sissy's on here. We went through the same thing. She just shared with me. And now that she's free, she's with somebody who loves her and take care of her and honor her and respect her and treat her with dignity. And that's what all of us should be. Treat each other, be treated with love, dignity, trust. And some say, well, nothing to do with love, okay. If it's not love, it's not caring, it's not nurturing, it's not trust, it's not any of the above, then you're in the wrong business. And be single, be celebrated, be by yourself, be happy, celebrate. I'm okay. If I'm not in relationship, I'm happy being alone. I'm not lonely. I never allow myself to be lonely. I have family, I have community, I have things that I do that's so engaging. Stay focused, stay engaged. If you go to church, stay focused, stay engaged with your church activities, stay engaged with family, stay engaged with your community, engage with your friend, engage with your talent. Do the things that make you happy. Don't dwell on your past, on your ugliness that you cannot leave behind, and that's going to keep living, keep bringing all this tormenting, keep bringing all the miserable feeling. Don't do that. The longest person live is 120. If you be lucky to live 120, 135. I don't know what life is like after 100. I took care of my dad. He was like 80, and then because he had chronic illnesses, and he became immobility. He can't walk, he can't talk, he can't stand, he all he can do was scoot around with his butt. And that incapacitate, it was a lot of work to take care of him. But I'm glad that I took the 16 years to care of my dad in that capacity, to care of my kids. The state paid very little to take care of my dad, and though he had this severe um, condition. But the state, they pick and choose who they want to reward, more hour, less hour. But they just give me just enough to pay rent. And but I remember when my daughter used to set aside a fund for me, and the one that in a better position to do that. And she said, here, mom, this money for you. If you need it, this is your money. You take care of my grandfather, so you don't have to worry about not having enough. So, but at the time, I also worked part-time as health educator. I was certified through Stanford to do the chronic illnesses class. So I taught health class. So that's why I know a little bit about eating healthy and stuff like that. Sometimes I implement in my cooking show, because what I learned from the certificate program is not just to teach the community. It taught me, it helped reshape my life, it helped discipline me. So that's what I love about that. Yes. 6 kid, I do not I do not recommend for anybody, because as Cambodian descent, we believe in big family. We don't believe in in abortion. We don't believe in contraceptive. I mean, um, even in the church that I am a a part of, member of, does not believe in such also. We believe in creation, we believe in God plan our happiness, and that we are here on earth for a purpose is to bring the immortality into mortality, to get the body through the wombs, so that we do part of God plan is to have as many children being born here on earth to receive the body as God commanded us. The same thing for Cambodian culture. We believe in big family. We don't believe in life, taking life. We don't believe in underlife any fetus. We believe in 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 family. We believe in humanity. We believe in human life. So we don't get rid of anybody. So I end up have that many kids, and I'm probably the only one to have that many kids, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud to that I had that many kids. I never been prouder than anything else. When I graduated from college, I was proud. When I graduated from high school, I was proud. When I worked in the community for 40, 30 years, I'm proud of that. But the most proud moment of me is like being the mother of 6 kids, being the grandmother of 7 grandchildren, and plus, you never know how many to come. So it's remarkable. Yes, it is. You too. We all have our own story. We have our own struggle. We have our own triumphants. We have our own way of dealing with certain capacity in our lives. Some people, will be confined in mental institution because they can't deal with the issue, can't deal with the pressure, the depression, the all that's going on. It affects us mentally, physically. It harms us in so many ways. If it allow it to harm us, allow it to overcome, to overwhelm, it will. It affect my children. They witness some of the incidents where I get beat up. So, they talk about that. I didn't know that they remember it. So a few of my kids remember that, yeah, I remember when dad slapped you. Yeah, mom, I remember when dad pulled your hair, when he called your name. And that's like, you remember when you was just a baby? Yes, I remember, mom. I remember everything. So it does affect them, sometimes. But then my kids are doing well with their relationship. Their husband treat them good, and though there's a few moments of their insecurity here and there and a little mistake here and there, they work it out. But they're not abusive like an older generation of men that I deal with. That my kid have been fortunate with their spouses, which I am very pleased and very glad that abusive cycle or emotion code did not pass down to my kid. I was worried that because some of the emotion code that happened to the parents will get passed down to the children. So I'm glad that my kid are not really affected by my emotion code. Okay, I think they learned from how I was treated. It so they understood. I think they have more awareness than I was. I thought that I know a lot in relationship and in life, but I don't think I know enough. And sometimes when we don't know enough of anything can be dangerous anyway. So that's just a story in my life. Thank you. I know you too. Thank you for staying up with me. I'll call up also. It's 10:30 here. I appreciate you coming on and share your experience. Your your comments are so valuable. You such a great counselor. You're a great mentor, and I appreciate that that beauty side of you. It's wonderful. Yes, and a story does embark, does shape, does refine us. It depends on how you treat yourself, how you value yourself. If you don't value yourself, no one will. Okay, give yourself love, give yourself hug, and get up in the morning. Apply some makeup on, do your hair, do your face, do something that make you feel good. Okay, don't sit in the house, close the curtain, and then just wear your pajamas to warm, treat yourself good, love yourself, hug yourself, compliment yourself, tell yourself that you love yourself, you love your family, you pray, whatever that will help you feel good, do. Okay, but one thing that you shouldn't be doing is staying on bed all day, sitting on the chair all day, and don't do that. Okay, get out, put on some makeup, make yourself look pretty, be the best of you. Be the best version of you. Even you don't have $1 million, even you don't have $1,000, even you don't have $100, you can look good, feel good, because the money will come. The money don't come if you sit around and do nothing. The money will come when you start moving up and doing something to change the situation. Because some situation don't change unless you work to change it. Just like bad influence in your life, you don't move away, you don't move out, they won't, because they like that comfort is, because the good woman will take care, will endure, will take crap from them, so they're not going to leave you, but they're going to go out and find someone else to for their enjoyment. But anyway, I said enough today. I appreciate you. Hey, Cece, you have shoot, don't scare me like that, my dog. Thank you for being on here. I appreciate you. A lot of love, a lot of respect, and you you're such a fine, exemplary woman that I met online so far. You've been good. You're a mentor. Thank you. We meant each other, and I appreciate that. And for you too, TikTok. I know that beside hi and bye, you don't say anything else. So let's bring out your idea, your comment. I would love to hear from you. But tonight, I said a lot. My blanket it'll get done, okay, I mean it expanding. When I'm done with this, I'm going to do the flat hat, the square hat, and I will show you on here. So simple, okay, just a smaller version of granny square, and sew it together and put in your head, and it look like you had uh, rabbit ears. Okay, we'll see. Okay, it will take me. I'm gonna try to work on it as much. I still have the flowers that I not even have the basket for, because I have a person in mind already that I'm gonna give certain special handmade too. Because those that on here and be such a good cheer to me, and be such a good supporter on my channels. I already know a few people that will receive some of the special gift from me. And I promise you that I'm not a talker. I'm a promise keeper. I don't make promise, but I keep my words. Okay. I don't like making promise, because promise can be broken. But the word, it can be a testimony of that. Okay, so I'm making all this, and a few of you will get it. Okay, all I need is just you to pay for the shipping and your address, and I'll mail it out to you, and that's my word. Okay, so appreciate and all love all of you for being here for me, and good night to all you. Sleep well and pleasant dream. Okay, dream of a nice vacation. Okay, see, and good night to all of you.